Hello, it's December 2024, and this video is inspired by two things, but primarily a recent conversation that I had with someone that had this unexpected tangent, and we ended up talking for a long time. And I was kind of shocked to hear about it. And it came up, the topic had come up back on my radar not too long prior. So there was a little bit of, we'll call it coincidence, that I would end up having this conversation with this person about this. Now, the conversation really just started about my being a former insider and whistleblowing and so forth. And as this person was listening, they were relating. Now, originally, prior to this conversation, when this topic came on my radar, there was actually a video talking about organs being stolen and sold, organ trafficking. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna use this for an overlay for some future video. And then I have this conversation sometime later. And this individual was telling me how I'm going to be very vague here, in their country they had uncovered this very thing. And this person went into some detail on how the whole process works, how money's transferred, how even people are at times lured into leaving a country, going to another country with the promise of something and not realizing their fate. And listening to this, I was just completely amazed. I'm still, as I'm talking, just thinking, wow, how, as a descriptive, wicked the world is. And they really prey on the commoner and the people less fortunate in this world, say specifically poor people. And I'll give one example. Again, I'm going to be very vague to protect the identity of this person, because this person had told me before leaving at some point where they come from that there were threats made to them if they did expose this, documentation and everything. And well, I'll get on with that a little bit later on. But one of the ways they would lure someone from, say, any country, promising them employment of some sort, of any kind, they bring them over because it's worthwhile for them to, for example, pay for a plane ticket, and then unknowingly this person is being sized up, and they literally somehow incapacitate them, use that as a general descriptive, and remove sometimes many organs for sale. Sometimes these people are left to perish. Sometimes these people do survive, and they're sent back to their place of origin, and then later they meet their demise. I've heard about this, throughout my life, as most of you have. But to actually speak to someone who has first-hand knowledge of this and has the evidence to support it, it's a whole new perspective on the topic. And what's interesting is how, for example, they lure people, just as they do lure people for being trafficked, human trafficking or sex trafficking. They lure people, and a lot of people buy into it. Now, going back to this organ trafficking, there are some people who voluntarily, because they're so poor, say, yes, I will sell, and they go, they have it removed, they're sent back, and they end up meeting their demise some years later, because the body's not meant to function without these organs. And sometimes they go voluntarily thinking, okay, it's going to be this one, and they end up just taking a lot, and the person meets their demise. It's really shocking to actually, again, hear someone actually with first-hand knowledge talk about this kind of stuff, and it still kind of leaves me in awe. And the fact that this person didn't go public, or we'll just say maybe not yet, I'm not sure, and how they were threatened. Now, I had said to the person, based on my own first-hand experiences, that you're not going to stop anything. You're not going to do much with regards to that. Most people in the world won't care. Some people might. There might be 15 minutes of fame and then it's over, but then living in the aftermath, as I have been with my efforts, is devastating. And really, at the end of it, I said, you have to ask yourself one question: what do you want? And they realized, wow, I never thought of that. And that's the unfortunate reality. Whether you're exposing sex trafficking or police, judicial, political corruption, or, in this case, selling organs from people, organ trafficking, it's devastating to the individual's life who tries to draw attention to it firsthand. A lot of people, they'll post online third, fourth, fifth generation information from somebody with first-hand knowledge, and maybe get penalized, we'll say, in a social media group or something for a period of time, and wear that as a badge of honor. But the reality is that people who release this information, their lives are destroyed. And there's even been one or two famous cases of people as a third party relaying information who have suffered. But the real heroes are not the middleman, but are the ones who are insiders or former insiders to something with first-hand knowledge. Now, this video that I had watched about organ trafficking is taking place here in North America. And they're not only taking out organs from individuals, but doing so while they're in the hospital and still alive. And they're trying to dismiss it with family and stuff, saying, oh no, they're looking around, they're moving, they're whatever, because it's just some natural reaction after someone passes, which is nonsense. But this is happening in our own backyard. And it's a huge mega industry catering to those who can afford it. Again, capitalizing, we'll say, on the commoner. Everything, all the success and all the wealth and everything on any topic is on the backs of the commoner. And the commoner, although some within that group may complain and say, oh, look at what's going on, just like cattle or sheep, just keep letting it happen. And that's why I've said I regret my efforts, because trying to help the commoner and expose things, because it's not worth it. The commoner really is not worth it. And you can hate all you want on me on that, but just look. The commoner doesn't do anything. They're so fractured, so divided. Pineapple on pizza is the best example that I've always used. Such a division. If you like or dislike pineapple on pizza, I can't even talk to you. I'm just gonna erase you. And that's the reality of the commoner. And it's sad, but the commoner's not helping themselves. And people in general don't care about any particular topic until it impacts them. And you compound that with the commoner being, I want to use the word stupid as a bad descriptive, that when they actually think they're doing something, then they focus on that, in which they're doing nothing, and it's actually part of agendas and everything else to further imposing more. And they think, oh, look, we're doing something, we did something, and they've done nothing but do more harm to themselves. And I've said many times, there's no waking up anyone on any topic on any side. And I look at even my efforts with my content and everything else. Putting aside, for example, with evidence, my subscription counts, my view counts, like counts, everything dropping. And even other people have noticed it as well. And I've shown in videos over time this happening. Putting all that aside, what's the point? Perhaps I need to ask myself, what do I want? Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people say, when is it going to get easier? When you die.